Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And, one thing that might be changing in the near future, we've been talking about ARM-based Windows machines for a long time. The first real try was with the Windows RT tablets and PCs that unfortunately were wrongly associated with the way that Windows works, and people bought them and were kind of disappointed that they couldn't do anything and install the software they want. And of course, the future of ARM-based PCs promises x86 or x64 compatibility, which would help in the migration of a hybrid machine, basically. Now, we're still waiting for anything interesting in that domain. And I mean, we look at Apple with the M chips, which are ARM style based, if you want, and they're powerful, and that's working well. But PCs are still with Intel and AMD, and it's not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but these two CPUs take a lot of power, and we have difficulty getting PCs that have very long battery life. So now we have Qualcomm that did announce that they will have an X series ARM processor that will be Windows only. So they should have these new PCs coming out. So first, a little history, because every time I do or talk about ARM, people are like, what's ARM? When you have a PC, and let's look at the task manager here, you either have an AMD or a Intel CPU. So here I got an Intel Core i5. And what that means is that you have basically the core architecture that's been there forever. It starts off at the really basics of the 8088 up to today. And basically they are compatible with each other. And that's what makes Windows run, your software run, and compatibility is there. ARM is a different type of CPU. It's a different type of code, which means you got to adapt your operating system and the software to run with that code, which is technically not compatible with AMD or Intel. And so what's coming up is there would be that code, so the Windows would be adapted to it, but it would have emulation so that you can keep some compatibility with the software that you're running, because it would not be compatible. So the first PCs might be the ones with the Qualcomm X series. Now, one of the things that's interesting, and that's what is happening, we know that AMD has started working on an ARM architecture CPU. And the reason it's getting late in the game, they haven't worked on it a long time, is because Microsoft had a deal with Qualcomm that until 2024, they are the only supplier of ARM chips for Windows PCs. So it would block everybody else. But that is coming to an end in 2024. And now we learned that AMD is working on a ARM chip. But we also learned today, and this is a news coming out of Reuters, they are saying that NVIDIA might be on the train for a ARM CPU specifically aimed at Windows PCs. Looking at how powerful the graphics GPU of NVIDIA are, I think if they put the resources and do things right, they might be the one. And let's look at AMD also. AMD is probably capable of it too. But maybe it's time we'll get the real powerful CPUs running ARM and the real first PCs that people might want to buy finally, because at last they will have the power to do what we want, and the emulation compatibility will have these PCs run the software we want. So this is interesting news today. We'll see what the future brings. Now, because of the agreement between Qualcomm and Microsoft up to 2024, these new CPUs, though, will not be there until 2025. But that's going to be interesting. I think maybe a future on ARM could be happening now, thanks to that. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.